guys, so today I'm back with my most watched ever videos on my channel. It's an art video, but it's not just any art video, it's another GCSE art video because they are so popular. And I remember when it came to editing my other one, my iPad had literally no memory left, so it was really hard for me to upload it, and I had to delete a lot of the footage anyway because it was probably like 25 minutes long or something. I had to cut it down to 15 minutes just so it could be uploaded from the iMovie app to YouTube. Obviously now everything's changed. I don't film my iPad anymore, so that video is it's out of focus, but it's also really bad quality. But yeah, I thought I'd do some GCSE extra because I missed out on a lot of showing you guys. Obviously I picked out my best work, but I thought that I would go through everything that I didn't get to show you and re-show you, and then maybe if I have time show you some of my work that did get shown but show it in this video just so you can see it in actual HD. Let's go. So I'm going to start with work from year 10. Now the piece here I didn't get to show you, and it was actually one of the first things that we ever did in year 10, so it was kind of a lot of like experimenting of different ways you can do it. Right, let's see how well I can actually get this all in. Right, I'm going to start from the top. So this one here is called Monoprint, and it's been created by printing and using inks and stuff. So I've got this guy's face, if you can see it, but then I've kind of layered it up using like maps, just so it kind of adds a bit more texture, and as I said here, just makes it more interesting. And then this guy over here is an ink drawing, so it's another face that I copied. And I'm pretty sure we just had this kind of stick thing dipped into ink and kind of just experimented using it, you know, like this is our first time proper getting into art GCSE, and we were just experimenting with different materials, finding what things we liked and what things we didn't. I've then got this guy here who is actually a charcoal image, so I had like a charcoal stick and then I just went for it, did a bit of crosshatch. The images themselves kind of already had the markings on them, so I kind of just followed that kind of drawing style. Now this is of Winston Churchill, and yeah, this was one of the faces as well that we had to draw, so I kind of just went in, practiced. Obviously I've already used pencil before, but still it's good to have in your portfolios that you've like experimented with lots of different things. And then lastly we've got this guy over here, which is done by biro. I love drawing biro, it's just one of the easiest things to draw with, but still stands out really nicely, so that's what I did. So the next piece of work was also from year 10, and this was one of my first artist research, and this was from Frida Kahlo. So we did a lot of studying on Frida Kahlo. We watched like a film about her and everything about her whole life, and then we were kind of like choosing a picture that we wanted to paint. Now I loved the photo that I painted. It's of this one of her with these 4 beautiful birds, and I actually used to have birds that kind of were quite similar. They were like green and yellow, so when I saw this I was just like, yes, this is the painting for me. It's so beautiful. I think the birds are my favourite thing to draw just because I loved like making the feathers look really realistic. Oh my god, this arm here I had so much problem with. It just, you know when you build up paint too much and then it becomes thick and kind of like clay-like, it's hard to work with. I just had so much layer of paint here that it just wasn't working, so the arm's kind of a mixture of different colours. I can see like a tinge of like purple grey kind of here in comparison to the like actual good browns and oranges that I used around her face and neck. And as you can see, I kind of decorated the page using these like pattern swirls and stuff, just so it kind of makes the page a bit more exciting to look at. I did a really nice big standout title, and then I kind of picked out keywords and kind of wrote them, so it really kind of stood out as a piece. The next thing I'm going to show you is more of like a painting study. I think this is the first time that we ever started painting in my class, and I'm pretty sure we had to choose 3 photos because I've got 3 paintings here, but we had to choose 3 photos from a pile on my table. So there were so many different photos to choose from, but I kind of chose 3 different ones and you'll see what I mean. So the first one I've got here is black and white, and this is actually another painting from the same person who did the screen photo. I really enjoyed doing this. It was a lot of fun to kind of paint in their style, and I was really happy with how it turned out. The style of the screen painting is really cool. There's a lot of swirls going on. It kind of all flows together, as you can see. Again, it was black and white, so it gave me like an opportunity to experiment, doing different tones with white and black, so I really liked that. The next painting here is the complete opposite to the one I just showed you. So this is so vibrant and colourful, so I got to experiment with lots of different colours, which was great, and I absolutely loved doing this. There were a couple of different designs of this photo, so this artist was obviously quite popular, and I love rainbow anyway, but when I saw this I was like, that would be awesome to paint. And what's clever about it is that inside all of these colours there's a face, and I just really liked the idea of that. And then the last painting down here is just a regular coloured painting, and I kind of liked this. The story is quite pretty as well. I just really liked the natural colours, like you have like the greens, kind of looks like he has an afro, but no, I didn't want it to be just like a plain black block, so I kind of just tried to fade it out looking like it was a shadow behind him. Yeah, just really, really nice to work with. Also the first time of me using like actual skin colours, so this was a big step in my painting world. The next thing I'm going to show you is another artist's research, and this is Funicula Hicks, and she does a lot of kind of evolution drawings. So you know, you see those pictures of like say a horse with a man's body joined together. She kind of does different things like that, and we had a few different choices of what kind of creature we wanted to draw from her creations, and I chose this like running man bird. Please excuse the fact that my head is literally squished right back here, but yeah, just so you can see the photo. So she's got here, which is like a horse, but it's got wings, so it's kind of like Pegasus, I guess you could say. As you can see, I did like this man, but he's actually got the head of a bird. The way this creature is holding their position was so fun to draw, and all these feathers that came out just made it really fun to kind of play with and experiment with. We chose this kind of brown paper kind of as the base, and then what we did was we started off using like black charcoal and sketched a lot of it, kind of shading, and then we went over with white paint and highlighted certain areas of the body, and it kind of makes something so simple just using 3 colours, but can make it stand out and look even more 3D, which I really liked. The next thing I'm going to show you is a lot more simpler and a lot more smaller than the things that I've shown you so far, and it's this little kind of collage that I did. This was during the first year, so in year 10, and it kind of worked towards our final project, and we went through tons and tons of different magazines, kind of picked out different things that we liked and surrounded it on this massive collage page, and then you had to kind of print yourself through it. Now, I did it using like the ink press technique, so you kind of draw over and it kind of prints through on here, but because I had so many layers going through on this little paper, it's kind of a little bit faint, but you can still clearly see me. But I tried to keep the page quite interesting. I've got lots of different kind of colours up here, things overlapping each other, kind of seeping in. I also tried to pick things that kind of weren't so square, like the shoes. I just cut around them because it kind of helped blended the 2 different colours together. I've also got an owl on my shoulder because owls are very important to me. Got a camera. I just kind of picked out lots of different things that I really liked the look of in the magazines. And then we also had these little stamps, so I just wrote Casey and then I wrote rainbow. So this is a lot of fun. The next thing I have here is a little bit more experimentative. It's not so much kind of looking at my techniques and stuff, but it was just working towards my final project. So if you haven't seen my final project, then the background was brick walls, so I was kind of experimenting with how I could do brick walls. Now this one was just using cardboard and kind of slicing into it just so it kind of was a little bit more 3D, but then I just painted over the top. Or I could actually cut out cardboard individually and paint them and kind of layer them like that. I think I liked the look of this one a little bit more because it was more 3D. I didn't actually go with either of these, I just painted straight on, but got this kind of like textured cement kind of stuff, layered that and painted over the top of it, which worked kind of well. But this is just kind of me writing about my ideas for my final piece, and a lot of teachers like you doing this. They like it when you just do extra work and kind of write about your reasons why you're doing this and why you're doing that, and it just, at the end of the day, when you get your final grade, it all adds up and it's all worth it. Here is another really, really simple collage that I just did. This was during year 11. My final project was to do with butterflies, so I just gathered tons and tons of different images of butterflies. With this one I really like it because it's a picture of butterflies, but part of the butterflies were cut off the page, so I carried on drawing them just so they kind of look like they were travelling onto the photo. I really like doing that. I also took like the striped butterfly, I kind of took the stripes down the page, so it kind of just made the page flow more. Like, I remember doing this and kind of thinking this is looking awful. Like, I made this butterfly out of like kind of different materials from a magazine, and then as I started to build in more colour and more kind of creations and kind of made things join together, it actually came out really well and I was really happy with it. So yeah, just kind of like a little fun mood board on butterflies. Right, I've got another mood board here. Can you believe it? The amount of mood boards I did was unreal. This one is a lot more detailed. As you can see, what I did here was I designed what I want my final project to look like, but with kind of real life objects. So I printed out the picture of me, which is what I painted from, and then I kind of found materials that were kind of looked similar to what I wanted my final project to look like. This was kind of like quite fun to do. As you can see, like for the bricks, this is like someone's hair from a magazine, and yet I just cut it in the shape of a brick and stuck it on there. Again, working towards my final project and my ideas and why I chose this, why did I do a brick wall background and kind of stuff like that, and it's all good. The last thing I've got to show you from the stuff that didn't get to make it in my other art video is this artist research. Now this is David Krakoff, I think that's how you say his name. But he is an amazing artist. I remember looking at his work and being like, wow, I would love to do that kind of stuff. And he makes like massive butterfly sculptures and stuff, if you can see that, but out of like metal, and they actually look amazing. Like, look at this one. These are all butterflies just kind of coming out of these buildings. So what I did was I, printed out pictures of his work, but then I kind of cut around them in a cool way that made the page not boring. And then what I did was, do the usual annotating kind of stuff about this person. But then I also created tons of different butterflies using different textures. Now these down here are just like tissue paper. These are actually just drawn straight onto the black card. And then my favourite are the ones I made out of wire. These just look so pretty. And what I also like about this is that it's on black card, and I think that just adds something to your folder, like just do it on black card. And then I got to write in white pencil, so it all looks really, really cool. Right, I think I'm gonna choose two things that were actually in my GCSE Art video, but I kind of want to show again because it's better quality and I think they'll look cooler. So the first one I did in year 11, and it was towards my butterflies. Now this is an artist research. So for this one, this was like a huge painting project. Up here was the image that I was actually drawing, but what I really liked about this was how the butterflies were like the big masks on the boat, and I thought that was so clever because our project was Metamorphosis, so it's kind of things blending in from one to another. And when I saw this, I thought this would be amazing to paint. I thought the whole idea of it is actually really, really clever. Like, imagine being on a boat with butterflies. It'd be wicked. But yeah, this is like a massive A1 size piece, so I kind of really wanted it to stand out. I mentioned in my GCSE Art video, like one of the main things that I really liked about this is the shadow. I think this shadow of the boat just makes it look like it's actually on water, and just something as simple as that just makes it stand out so much more. The clouds also really pretty, how they kind of like these balls that kind of roll in. I really like that. And obviously the butterflies themselves, like the ones that are kind of a bit more bold, like this one or this one, kind of stand out more. But then again, I just love this piece of work so much. And the last thing I'm going to show you in today's video is my butterfly book drawing. I'm having to hold this at a really weird angle just because it's so bright outside and it's reflecting, so you can't really see what it is, but it's this butterfly book. I just love this so much. I was so proud when I finished this. It took me absolutely ages. I remember like starting on it and I wasn't so sure that it was going to go well, but the more I added in like the depths of the pages and kind of like the detail of the butterfly, it just came to life, and I just absolutely love this. As soon as I finished it, I was just so happy. I think something like this is just so much fun to draw because it's something so simple, like it's a butterfly inside a book, but it just looks so pretty and so delicate. And also when you're drawing something like this with such high detail, it really shows your skills on how well you can draw. Yeah, it was one of my favourite things. I just wanted you guys to see it in actual focus and not in my other video where I'm not in focus. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I've been meaning to do this for a long time now, but have never actually gotten to the point where I had to take it out and sort it out all in my room. But I'm so happy that I can finally give you another GCSE art video. I really hope you guys enjoyed kind of everything that you got to see of mine that you didn't get shown. Yeah, I thought, do you know what, these videos of mine are so popular, and why not see everything else that I did? So if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up so I will continue doing art videos, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye! Show you some, and then maybe, oh my god. I can already feel this ache in my arm. Winston Churchill? In comparison to the oh dear. Oh, the problem of working on A1, eh? Oh my god, that was so good.